A lot of this year's big Nintendo games have supposedly been leaked, and also Sakurai's playing hours of Minecraft?
Block content.
What's happening, my blocked buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content's Leak Speak. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today. Sakurai has been playing so much of Minecraft, other games too. This is really crazy. We've actually unearthed information about his official account on Nintendo Switch, which is super cool. There's a lot of information to lean on from that. And of course, you guys know that we just did this awesome discussion together with Lax Chris and Papagenos talking about Byleth and this whole previous Nintendo Direct that, Sakurai was playing basically just Smash Brothers, talking about all this cool stuff with Byleth. And also, to talk a little bit about the Salt, right? And a little bit about, what our community is up to. So I recommend you checking out that video right now. And also, there's been a major supposed leak that actually talks about all of this year's Nintendo games, stuff that it's in development right now, and this person actually has a lot of credibility. So I wanted to talk about that as well. Today's actually going to be a very special day because we get to talk about a whole lot of things that we've wanted to for a very long time, right? I've been answering many of you guys' questions about Smash Ultimate and new fighters in our show, Question Blocked, where I answer your questions. What do I think of your favorite game? How do you start making content on YouTube? Well, whatever you can think of, send your questions through to blockedcontentmail@gmail.com, and I will answer your question live on the show in one of our next Question Blocked episodes. And here's a brand new giveaway. You can win one of these Mario surprise capsules from Tomy. Any Mario item, a Yoshi, a character could be inside. I leave them closed, so you'll find out when you win. And I'm giving away 4 of these this month. So remember to like this video, subscribe to Block Content right now, and comment down below to enter for the giveaway. All right, let's get into the main topic of today, and that's basically what I want to talk about. This user on Twitter called Marco Maro @NewMarcoMaro actually talks about all these things. It's been getting a lot of traction online. A lot of you guys on Discord asked me to talk about this. So, the first tweet, let's just read through these things, right? He just basically goes on and just drops a whole bunch of information. At first, he says, Fire Emblem 3DS Remake was a remake from Fire Emblem 6 and 7 in the same package as Fire Emblem Echo's Blazing Sword. Also, a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, a Wario Land VB remake, New Style Boutique 4, and a Paper Mario 64 remake were planned to be released for the 3DS this 2019 and beyond. Then he goes on to say, all of them coming to Nintendo Switch now instead, during 2020 and 2021. The first one to be announced will be the New Style Boutique 4, planned for spring 2020 and announced in a Nintendo Direct early next year. So this, of course, was posted on November 3rd, and a lot of people slept on this, right? And now that we actually know that Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is coming, that is quite interesting. Also, the other leaks about Paper Mario having a sequel, or will it be a remake? Well, this is basically saying Paper Mario 64, right? So this feels like the perfect time to talk about this. Nintendo Switch lineup for the first half of 2020 will be Brain Training Switch, which is true, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which is also true, Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, which has not been announced yet, Animal Crossing New Horizons, which, has been pushed a little bit, but this is true too, New Style Boutique 4, probably renamed for Nintendo Switch, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, which is probably going to make Arlo very happy, Xenoblade Chronicles DE, and then he goes on to say, a new Donkey Kong Country will be one of the bigger games for Nintendo Switch next year. This time, Retro Studios is not behind it. Nintendo wants to release the sequel of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild between Q4 2020 and Q1 2021. They have also a Wind Waker HD port for Switch prepared in case the game comes to the latest, and we'll have some Zelda in 2020 to continue the good sales of the franchise. And finally, there is also another Metroid game that is coming in late 2020, a 2D Metroid. The plan is to make this franchise relevant again and secure good sales for Metroid Prime 4 2021 at the earliest. releasing this and Prime Trilogy HD next year. Well, a lot here to dive into and talk about because this is dropping a lot of information that actually feels like it's relevant, like we've heard rumors of this before and stuff has been announced. So, of course, a lot of you people are saying stuff like this can easily be faked. I mean, this was literally on Twitter and I screenshotted this, but this could also definitely be someone who's made all of these calls before and can now like delete tweets and only leave the ones that feel like they are, following the narrative that we're now following. So all of that said, I feel like Marco Maro is hitting a couple of things right on the head here. I mean, Fire Emblem 3DS Remake makes sense to me. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is actually coming. Now, Wario Land Remake, I think a lot of people are waiting for a very long time. If we're not getting that, Waluigi, everybody cheating but me. If we're not getting that game, then, we'll have to be happy with a Wario Land Remake. And I actually think that it's really cool because that franchise has been stagnant for a little while. I feel the last big game that we got in that franchise, and it even felt a little bit, spin-offy, was the Shake It on Wii. So I feel like Wario Land needs to be a franchise again. I feel like there's a lot that Wario has to give in terms of personality, stories to tell, and gameplay. I mean, it's very different from Mario gameplay, but still, enough for a general audience to kind of get behind. New Style Boutique 4, which, Marco Mario is saying a lot about, so he probably has a little bit of the inside about New Style Boutique, which is very funny. And of course, a thing that you guys know I'm mega excited about, Paper Mario 64 Remake. Now, a lot of other reports are saying Paper Mario is actually getting a, big new game in the style of 64 and the Thousand Year Door for GameCube. So a brand new entry, a sequel. This leak is saying that it's going to be a remake of the first game in the series. Now, I personally have no preference, if I'm being brutally honest. I mean, of course, the idea sounds really great of having this big new adventure, new party members and that kind of stuff. But also, if you look at it that way, I feel like there's a lot that Nintendo gleaned from Sticker Star and Color Splash that may not be what I want the future of Paper Mario to be. I actually don't really like the aesthetic of Color Splash. I think the graphics are great and really awesome, but if I look back at, the Thousand Year Door or even the first game, it feels to me like, the paper thing wasn't, very overt. It wasn't a very big style. It was just this thing where they just really wanted the game to have this sort of feel because it was called Mario Story, right? Mario RPG, Mario Story. And it wasn't called Paper Mario. So now that we have this branding, everything needs to be paper, everything needs to be cardboard, everything needs to be crafts. And that's not how I like my Paper Mario. I feel like they, hinted at some things with that in the Thousand Year Door in 64, but they didn't do everything in paper. There were still 3D models, there were still cool other things, and that's kind of what I want to get back to. So if they do a remake of Paper Mario 64, I hope they really get that style of the first game back and not this Color Splash style, which I feel fits very well for Color Splash and looks great, but I feel like it's a little washed out and there could definitely be a whole lot more charm to it and, get it back. So I would be up for both a sequel. I mean, that's, a very interesting thing to me. What will the evolution of the franchise be now that we've got two big stinkers on our hand, right? Sticker Star and Color Splash. And to another extent, I feel Super Paper Mario is kind of its own spin-off thing. And also, of course, Paper Jam, which is technically a Mario Luigi game. I really want the, franchise to finally evolve. So all of the information about, Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, it feels like that has to be coming because, of course, we are not getting Prime 4 for a very long time. Pikmin 3, yes, I do think that it's possible, but it also feels like a bit of a cop-out because we've waited so long and now we're getting a port of, one of the Wii U launch games. It's really, strange. Just give us Pikmin 4 and let us wait a little while longer, I say, right? That makes more sense to me in, the long run. And the big news of a new Donkey Kong Country game, but not being developed by Retro, because of course they'll probably be busy enough with Metroid Prime. I think that that's a really cool idea. I want to see that franchise evolve too. Maybe you even bring back King K. Rool now that we know that people totally love that character again. They probably won't, because I think that inside of Nintendo, they probably have a little bit of, rare problem there. But in terms of Smash Brothers, Sakurai can make anything happen, right? So also the sequel to Breath of the Wild that we now don't even know the title of, that is coming hopefully 2020 and maybe 2021, the Q1 at the latest. So that'll be cool. And of course, built in is some sort of Wind Waker HD port to kind of, counter if it isn't ready on time. And of course, a lot of people have talked about this before, 2D Metroid is coming. I think that this is definitely something that is true, and that is maybe part of a leak that might not be true, but I definitely think that they're working on some sort of Switch version of what we had with the Return of Samus, maybe a sequel to that, maybe a sequel to Fusion. I feel like there's a lot of stories to tell in that universe. They just stopped making them, and I really wanted to continue. So that's all about that leak. But of course, it all goes to Sakurai next. And this is a really interesting part that I wanted to talk about, because Sakurai, his account has been found by a lot of people. This has been proven to be authentic. There's also a couple of joke accounts going around that are saying different things, but this is totally real. Now, we see this account here. It's called Sakurairo, and it shows that his play activity is, well, Minecraft, and he's online at that particular moment, which is totally crazy. And of course, his other play activity, it included a lot of other games as well, but it's YouTube for 230 hours or more. It's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for more than 2,645 hours or more. And then Minecraft first played 5 days ago, which I think is really interesting. And then Pokemon Shield and Pokemon Sword, it later shows too, that he's been playing for a very long time. Now, people have kind of shown us a little bit more information about this, and they say, find the account on Smash's shared content. Look up play activity, 100 hours on Shield, 110 hours on Sword, 740 hours on Breath of the Wild, 870 hours on Nico Nico, which is a video service in Japan, kind of like YouTube, 835 hours on Splatoon 2, 60 hours on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, 80 hours on Super Mario Maker 2, 275 hours on Dragon Quest XI-S, 25 hours on Link's Awakening, 275 hours on Xenoblade 2, 135 hours on Super Mario Odyssey. And he never touched Kirby Star Allies. So they think, all this about what you will, right? Make all the memes that you want about him not playing his own, creations games, right? I mean, he isn't that involved with those games, but it is his little character, right? So really crazy information here. Yeah, what do I think about this all? Does this mean that Minecraft content is coming to Smash Brothers? I'd actually say yes. I do think Minecraft content in some way, whether it be a full-fledged character or a Mii costume, a stage, I think he's doing research. I think this isn't a thing where it's like, well, even Sakurai can't just play a game to have fun. I think this is definitely, if we look at first played 5 days ago, this is definitely research. This is something that Sakurai has been quoted doing, playing through a lot of these games to figure out how to best represent them in Smash. So I think bottom line is here, probably getting some Minecraft content, which will make a lot of people happy, a lot of people angry, and I'm right there in the middle. I think that it'd be really cool. There's ways that they can do it right, and I hope they go about it that way, right? So really curious what you guys think of this. Of course, yes, sending in your comments is always so much fun. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this. If you comment down below, that could actually be featured and read out loud in one of our next videos. And as for a previous comment question winner, our answer comes to us from our beautiful user, the strategist Minx. My only big pet peeve are the people that think the slot was wasted. I say that because we don't know the list Nintendo gave Daddy Sakurai. For all we know, maybe Byleth was the best choice. Maybe Dante was not even on that list, or maybe it was a bad decision. The fact is, we just can't really know completely. Well, the strategist Minx, thank you for sending in your comment, and I kind of want to echo your sentiments. I do feel like there's no way that we can know that Byleth was the absolute worst choice here, but what I really feel is true, and we talked about that in our previous video where we live streamed with Papagino's Lax Chris, I went on a little bit of a rant saying that yes, we do have this Fighter's Pass with all these crazy awesome characters, ending it on a first-party character when all of this was third-party, I feel was a kind of a bad choice just thematically, and also the way that, yes, there probably could have been a switch around with Byleth and Bancho, to have that middle of the pass, at least have a little bit of, this first-party sprinkled throughout it, then having Hero in that same direct, kind of make up for it, I suppose, for a lot of people, and then end the pass on a very, very strong note with Banjo, I think would have probably been a better decision if we see how fractured the fan base now is. And of course, say all you want about people that don't like it or people that do like it, we have to address the fact that it did happen, right? I can't just, talk about things and don't mention it. This really happened. There have been so many dislikes. There have been reactions from people that are very negative. And, I gotta address things how they are. Right now, it's a little bit fractured, and I notice it too in the comment section, in views and stuff like that. People are really, taken aback by what this announcement was. So I hope that we, work out from here what the future of Smash Brothers content could be. I mean, 6 new unannounced fighters is going to be really incredible, and I don't think that Sakurai is making any more missteps here. I feel like it was a studio mandate from Nintendo to have a Three Houses character in there. Now, everything's off the table. I really think that we can do a really incredible final second pass. I really feel like this could be a big ender for Smash Ultimate. I feel like third party is still on the table, and first party, now we know, finally is too. So thank you so much for sending in your comments, everyone. These are always so much fun to read through. And of course, a big shout out to our latest Patreon supporters and you guys who donated during our live chats. I mean, it's so much fun playing Smash with you guys. You make block content possible. So if you want to have your own ideas animated by me or join me for a Skype session, go to patreon.com/blockedcontent. There's a bunch of incredible rewards there and they're waiting just for you. And remember, if you're not yet a member of the Blocked Content family yet, hit subscribe now, smash that like button, and ring the bell for notifications. And all the news and fun that you care about will be delivered on the daily to you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner where there's always more blocked content. See ya!